We're live.
Namaste, guys. This is Susan with Pack Leader Dog Training, and I'm here with Miss Ava. She is our newest board and train. She's a 2-year-old German Shepherd, and she's with us for some aggression. So you'll notice she does have a muzzle on. Rachel is actually joining us as well, so she's just going to come on screen. And we're going to tell you a little bit of what her processes look like. I know Rachel was kind of excited to share it, so I don't know if you want to start it or what you were thinking.
No, I didn't have a game plan in mind. I was just excited to talk about it.
Awesome. So she got here Friday night about 6 o'clock. She has a couple bites on her history, so we do have a muzzle. She's been wearing a muzzle pretty much the whole time. She came to us with the grooming muzzle on, which I'll show you that.
No, I don't think that's it. I think it's on the washing machine.
Good job. So grooming muzzle is it's probably what most people are familiar with. It's just like a cloth or nylon muzzle. It restricts breathing, and they can't really eat, drink, or pant with it on. So she did have it on to begin with until we felt comfortable enough to switch her to a Baskerville. So she does have a Baskerville on. You might notice that the top of it is a little soft because so if they wear it too long, they'll start to get like a sore, which she has. She started to get like a little sore there because she's wearing it so much. So we did go get some soft yarn that we just kind of wrapped over the top. So that's her size 4, which is more, it's a little bit tighter, but it doesn't allow her to really have as much room because it kind of smushes her nose. So we do have the 5 on her now, which gives her a little bit more room. But anytime we take her out in public or if we do anything to kind of push her, then we'll put that smaller size on just because it is a little bit more secure and we feel more comfortable if we're going to challenge her.
Yeah.
What do you think?
You just like a good girl. Where should we go from there? I was distracted grabbing muzzles.
So for the first day we had her, we did have to have some conversations of what is not allowed because Miss Ava does have a propensity to act out on things that we think make her nervous that she's scared of. So she will kind of I'll try to attack them, quite honestly. Yeah. So it was just me and Rachel, of course, handling her, and then I do have a husband, but no other humans in the house, and that's why she's down in the basement. So that's why this setting looks a little bit different. We are in the basement. That's where she's being housed in the kennel, and we do go upstairs to go potty. Now I have 2 dogs of my own. Rachel brought hers. We have a cat, and I also have other dogs that are training here during the day. So we always make sure that those dogs are away. She has no contact with them. Why? Well, for obvious reasons, but we really try to not even let her see them because now that we've had
I was going to say, her seeing them is just going to set her up to make a bad choice. And right now we're really trying to keep everything as happy and positive as possible because we had to have those tough conversations with her at first. Quite honestly, it was not fun for her at first because she was trying to attack us. So now that we've got this nice relationship where she actually comes to us for attention and pets and kisses now, we don't want to come in and be the bad guys right off the bat again. We want to build up our relationship, build up some trust with each other before we can have tougher conversations again in different settings.
Right. So pretty much what we did was, it was interesting because her dad dropped her off and we had a little setup for that. Once the dad left, she didn't do anything to us.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
So we walked her around the garage a little bit. And then that seemed okay, so we came downstairs, and one of us left. I think it was you.
Yeah, me first.
So Rachel left. She went upstairs. I was holding her. I believe I had the leash. Rachel was just going up to grab something. And when she came down, she did lunge and bark and growl and try to attack Rachel, and then flip-flop back. So after that, Rachel had the leash. She was totally fine. I went upstairs.
Same thing.
When I came back down, she did the same thing to me. So the person didn't matter. It was just, hey, this scary thing is coming at me, and this is how I normally get rid of them.
Right.
And it normally works for her. So we just had to let her know that's not going to work anymore. You can't do that. Then my husband Joe came downstairs because this is a house. We still have to live our lives. So our things are down here. So Joe came downstairs. She did the same exact thing to Joe. And I think she did it to me once or twice more.
Yeah.
After those conversations, knock on some wood somewhere. She hasn't showed that behavior to any of us or anything. She did show it to the cats. And I'm just having that conversation. If she exhibits that, I'm going to shut that down. You cannot act that way about anything because we know you. You just can't.
Right. We know where it's going to be that.
Right. So we're not at this point right now. We are not purposely pushing that. So like I'm not going to bring my dog downstairs, and if you react to my dog, I'm going to heavily correct you. But in our everyday life, if you offer that when I didn't set you up for it, you're going to get corrected because you can't do that.
So which is why we're setting her up to not do that because we don't want to be the bad guys right now. And eventually we're going to use her training in those situations, so it's not just correcting her. I mean, we're going to correct her if she growls, lunges, or acts ugly towards any living being. But we want to be able to tell her what to do after that. So we're going to build up her training a bit before we push her too much.
Sorry, I just got a notification, but I can't see it.
So after we did that for the first couple days, so day one was some tough conversations. It was, you cannot act like that towards us or to Joe or to the cat. After we had those conversations, we decided that we're going to take it slow because we don't have to rush. She's here as a 4-week board and train, so we have the time to let her get acclimated to her new environment. Whereas in other training facilities that we have had experience with, they don't give the dogs a break at all. They're worked constantly throughout the day. They don't ever have a time to just realize that life doesn't suck if they're making okay choices. So we kind of decided to just practice existing with her. So we had times when we just sat down here with her and let her see that nothing bad happens as long as you're not trying to attempt this.
So pause that. Someone is trying to join our live on Facebook. So how would somebody join live on Facebook? It's that little, the little circle that's normally the story. It should say live.
No, I don't think it's live on our story. You should be able to go to our page. If I go, you should just click on my page or your page, and on our news feed, scroll down, and it should say live on videos or on the feed.
Okay.
And YouTube, no idea how YouTube works. Okay, so isn't it? Thanks. So do you want me to pause talking about her?
You can pause if you want to talk about what else we've been doing besides Miss Ava.
Yeah, so we'll take a pause on chatting about Miss Ava here for a second because her human wants to jump on and hear how great she's doing. So in addition to Ava being here, of course, Susan has her 2 dogs and her cat. I have my dog, and then we've got 2 Train While You Work dogs here. So Susan's Train While You Work program, the dogs are dropped off Monday through Friday, drop off in the morning, pick up in the evening. While they're here, we're doing training with them. So Chelsea and Tully, if you're following along on my Instagram story, if you've seen Susan's posts on them, it's 2 golden retriever housemates. And they went on their first off-property trip today. So that was really cool that I got to be a part of their first off-property trip with Susan. And it was really extra cool because Tully, the white golden, he has had trouble jumping into the cars in the past. He plays like he can't do it, I think, because his owners will lift him up and put him in the car for him. Because he's Eeyore. I don't know how to describe him.
Yeah,
he's
if you've watched me at all before, if you know Minos, who is a golden retriever puppy, I'm calling him
Big Minos.
Big Minos. Yeah, I was gonna say grown up Minos, but Tully's only 7 months, so he's not really grown up. But he acts the same way. He's just my soul animal because I would lay around all day if I could too. That's Tully. He's I could do the things, but motivate me to do so. Yeah.
I wanna.
Mm-hmm. He wants to do the things he wants to do. Mm-hmm. But training, he's no, I'm really tired.
Suddenly I need a nap. So it was really cool because we got to work on getting him to jump up in the car, which we did in phases. So we didn't just take him up to the car and drag him in like some other trainers we know. I'm sorry, I can't help but be funny. What we did do though was we set up little baby stairs for him that are right over there actually. We set those up by the car. I was inside of the car being really exciting because you got to be really exciting to get him just a little bit excited.
Yeah.
Susan took him and got some momentum and ran him up to the car, and he went right up the stairs. I threw a big party once he got in the car with me because, oh my gosh, that was the coolest thing ever. And we did that a few times. Then, which you were really smart to do it when he came out. So then after he'd come up and down a few times without an issue, Susan then removed those stairs, helped him out, and he jumped out with no problem. Came right up with no problem either. So you started running up. I'm still in the back of the car. Super exciting. Very fun. Awesome.
So we only changed so dogs think in pictures. We say it all the time.
All the time.
All the
This is
time.
your favorite too.
So we
This is your
changed one thing
favorite.
at a time. First, we moved the stairs. Then I think
I stayed in the car.
You stayed in the car,
Mhm.
and then she started to slowly
Yep.
worm her way out through the door. So
Mhm.
her head's still kind of in
Yeah,
there.
so I'm out of the car, but I'm hanging in, so it looks very similar to him.
And then I started, instead of running up the whole way with him, I ran up to the car and I didn't go as close to the car. So he
Mhm.
got in front of me, he jumped up, and then we ended up I was able to just walk up to the car and then he
Mhm.
got in. So
And then once Tully realized that getting in the car just meant he could lay down and relax,
Mhm.
suddenly he was just offering it. So
Yeah.
even when we got out or we had to adjust something, whatever the case was, we weren't actually looking for him to get up in the car yet. And he was like, "You want me to jump up in the car?" And offered it
Yeah.
himself a few times. Because if he can lay down in something, his kennel or a place, it's his favorite thing to do.
yeah, he excels at duration work. So don't have a challenge if we do place duration.
Yeah.
You know us when we do our challenges. I'm gonna pick Tully. So
We were like, "Here's Tully placing for 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
Beat that." No, but their trip to the store went really awesome. We took both of them together. I had Chelsea and you had Tully. And it was really, really awesome first field trip.
it was good.
Yeah,
there was
obviously
a lot going on too for them. It
it was
wasn't
really busy.
normally I pick Hobby Lobby because there's not a lot going on. There's not a lot of dogs, if any. So it's very chill. And there was a ton of people walking out.
I've never seen it so busy, and there was a dog there, which
Yeah.
I have never in my life seen a dog there before, other than us, because they are dog friendly. Always make sure your always make sure the stores are dog friendly before you take dogs there, because that really irks me.
Mm-hmm.
Target's not dog friendly. I'm pretty sure any place that sells food is not going to be dog friendly,
Mm-hmm.
but not the one.
Yeah.
But they did awesome.
They did. They did really good. So back to Miss Ava. Where did we leave off with that?
So I think we were talking about wanting to just exist. So we spent a few
Okay, yeah.
sessions, and we literally just sat down here with her. We had her back tied as a safety precaution in case we needed to move out the way. But we just sat down here with her, and we taught her, hey, as long as you're being a good Ava and not trying to attack us, bad things aren't happening.
Mm-hmm.
And we slowly, I wouldn't even call it slow, honestly.
Well, we
We
did.
saw her,
Oh.
I was just going to say, saw her come out of her shell more with us. And what was it, day 3, maybe 2? 2, we were already petting her, and she seemed to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then day 3, I think she gave us both kisses through the muzzle, which was
Yeah, because
who are you?
I think I was squatted down because whatever. I was squatted down. She came over, and she just went nope. And I looked at Rachel. I was like, oh my god, did that just happen?
Yeah. And then next session, she came over and did the same thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then today she was sitting on my lap.
Well, Emily says, good evening, y'all.
Well, hello, Emily.
Hi, Emily.
Thanks for joining us.
And so if you haven't seen our stories or seen, Ava, you don't know who Ava is, definitely feel free to look at my page. I do have a progress video, and if you watch the progress video, it shows a little bit of, I'm going to say before Ava.
Right.
Yeah, old Ava.
Yeah, because I think you've got 2 clips in there, or the one in the kennel?
Just the one in the
The
kennel.
one in the kennel. Yeah, so, yeah. Old Ava's in that progress video. We haven't posted anything of her in the kennel here. But do you want to tell them about when Joe came down and she was in the kennel? Versus if you watched the progress?
Yeah, so the progress video, we couldn't even, Rachel was with me when we did her consult,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't get to meet her, out of the kennel. She had to be kenneled
In a separate room.
in a separate room, and
When
when we finally did see her, all she wanted to do was come at us.
Mm-hmm.
She was not having any of it. So now we have it to the point where my husband came downstairs. The barking?
Mhm.
Okay. So we were actually,
Or I was going to just say, when we saw her versus when he came down this last time.
he just came down today. and I stood on the stairs just to hear if she did anything. He came down for whatever reason, get water or something. She didn't do anything. She didn't bark. She didn't growl. She didn't make a noise. She didn't even get up. Yeah, she just laid there. So it's pretty exciting to see that.
That's a good dog.
Emily wants to know, at what age does it get difficult to start a dog in training? And if I do have a puppy, what's the best age to start?
That's a great question, Emily. So the old expression that an old dog can't learn new tricks is 100% false. Mr. Chook was how old when you trained him?
13.
13.
13 years.
13 years old, yeah. So that being said, while I would prefer to start as soon as you get the dog, because every interaction you have with the dog, you're training them, whether you mean to or you don't. Did you say something?
It's something cute. It has,
Okay.
yeah.
Every interaction you have with the dog, you're training them whether you mean to be or not. They're walking away from that situation thinking, should I do that again or should I not? And whatever your response was is going to tell them that answer. So you can train a dog at any age. Of course, a dog that's going to be older is going to have a lot more pictures of those unwanted behaviors. So
There's
again,
those pictures again.
Always talking about pictures. But yes, so like Chook, I forget, you just said it, 14?
13.
13? 14's in my head for some reason. I'll be right next year. So Chook at 13 years old has 13 years of memories of just barking whenever he feels like it. So when he comes in for your training program, it took a little bit longer because we're like, you know what you've been doing for the past 13 years? We don't do that anymore here. But he was still trainable. So me personally, like if you get a puppy at 8 weeks old, training starts right now. Now you're going to ask that puppy to be healing in a busy store? No. But you're going to be teaching them crate training and potty training and don't bite me. And then I'll start like formal training. I mean, I'll get them in for puppy program and we'll do fun stuff. But around 14 to 16 weeks,
That's a nice
depending on the dog,
Mhm.
is when I like to start like obedience training if we can. Well, what are your thoughts? I think I just kind of like rambled for a bit.
That was cool. I just feel like I'm the questionnaire person. You can answer. But yeah, I mean, every interaction you have with your dog is training. So whether you adopt a dog from the SPCA or whatever, and they're 2, the second the leash gets handed off to you, that starts training. They get to know, hey, can I pull? Can I jump on you? Can I act like a nut in the car? That kind of stuff. But when you get a puppy, you should be getting it in Pennsylvania, it's 8 weeks, and you would start training then because same thing, every interaction with them. But puppies are different because you're going to want to do food lore. Everything at the beginning is food. You don't want to use tools on them, and tools like the training tools we use, the palm collars and the e-collars, until they're about 16 weeks old. So then you can do a lot of shaping before that, though. Emily also did say, glad you all are together. That's great. It is great.
Isn't that kind of, I mean, it's all right. Yeah.
It could be better, but like, it's better than nothing.
I mean, yeah, it's better than being alone.
Yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know, Susan and I's relationship is very dry humor. We pick on each other a lot. And we actually had a story, I'm sure we told it before, but where people thought we were actually fighting. Like,
sometimes I think we're actually fighting. Did that cross the line?
No, yeah, like for something like I'll say something and I'll be like, no, Susan, I was just kidding.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I know you were kidding. And I was like, I just wanted to be sure. And you need to calm down for your hands. But tell the story from where they thought we were actually fighting.
Yeah, so, and funny enough, because about a year ago today, we did our first Q&A, so this is kind of crazy.
26th, I believe.
Yeah.
So like a couple days away from our 1 year mark.
Yeah, and now we're on 45, which is insane. So she got up. She's not in a She's not in a formal place. We just have her relaxing on the place bed. But she got up. She may be a little bit thirsty, so Rachel's gonna see if she wants some water. If she doesn't take any water, we're just gonna put her right back on place. So if she's on the screen, you'll be able to see how she reacts to leash pressure. When she lays right back down, she's doing really awesome. We have named all. Well, I got sidetracked. We have named all the commands for Miss Ava, and we're working on getting them over to the e-collar, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty excited about that.
She could bring Dylan.
Back to the other story, though. So, yeah, about a year ago, we were doing an internship in Rhode Island, and we would just be interacting.
Sitting just like this.
We're sitting in the training room. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Oh my god.
We're sitting in the training room joking. Oh my god, now we're on our own live Q&A. Like, what the heck?
And your training room.
In my training room joking. So, we were just doing this because of downtime or whatever. We're just observing. And we were going back and forth like we do. And they seriously thought we were fighting. Like, they're like...
I didn't realize, but, like, when I looked around afterwards, there was, like, 2 people just looking at us, like, concerned.
Mm-hmm. They're like, guys, like, stop. We're like, what? We were joking, and they still didn't believe us.
No, they were like, they looked like scared that we were like break out into a fight or something. And like that's been our relationship from day one, just like like known each other forever. It's really cool.
Oh, Emily's saying I have to head out, y'all. Have a great evening. Thanks for all the info. You're welcome, Emily.
Thanks, Emily.
Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Anybody that is watching us right now, please comment, even if you just say hello.
Even if you're watching the replay.
Yeah, because we like the engagement. If there's no engagement, then why are we here? Right? And Rachel, she likes to do the things like when we do the things. So now we started doing a Q&A. She likes to do them weekly. Susan, on the other hand, is like, if we don't get engagement, I've threatened her like every week.
She has, guys. Please help me.
Like, I'm done because I could be doing resting. Like, I could be doing nothing. I could be reading my book.
And honestly, like, this is free information for anyone. Like, we're not getting paid for this. We're doing this because we want to put that information out there and help people. And we work all day long, especially like here with the board and train, like
and the train while
it works. We work all day long, so it's like it's 8 o'clock now. We could be going out for dinner. You know?
Actually, we
like
got
we
this
were
on our
trying
list
to
of things to do.
But
we can't do it yet.
We've got the Q&A tonight. So now here we are doing this, which we love, but our feelings get a little bit hurt. Nobody reacts or comments. These are people, and if I'm just doing this to nobody, then why am I doing it?
Yeah.
And when we started these on Q&A number 1, I'm pretty sure I was like, well, in a year from now when we're famous, people will watch our replays. Okay, well, no, I don't want to be famous. I just want people to care.
So Chelsea and Tully's mom did say hello from Jackie and Kevin. So
thank you. I feel validated.
Yes, thank you. I do appreciate that.
Did you enjoy your videos? I forgot what the name was. I'm sorry. Chelsea and Tully's mom? Jackie?
Yeah.
They were like, I was very proud of them today. They did really, really good.
It was crazy. Yeah, because
it was Anne. Oh, sorry. Get excited.
She said that Kevin was really enjoying that Tully got up into the car, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot we did that today.
Right, because like we were really excited about that, and then really excited about their field trip, and just all the things. It was like, but I was just gonna say, super, super proud of them. Just want to Chelsea and Tully put that out about how great that was that their first field trip, they had the distraction of their sibling there.
Yeah.
Because usually it would just be like you, so
that
you would
dog.
take one at a time, but they were doing it. We each had a dog, but we were in passing, and they saw each other. They just were rocking and rolling.
Yeah. Jackie also said, love them and can't believe they are our dogs. It's a good you can't believe it though, right? Like, that's my dog. Like, oh, you're going to be really excited because you'll be that proud parent. And you know what I also always tell clients? You'll be excited when you're out walking your dog and someone's like, wow, that dog is really well behaved. And you're like, I know.
Right?
It's like the best feeling.
Right, and they got a few comments already at the store, I think, because there was another dog in there who was pulling and barking and yipping on the harness. And we got a few comments as our dogs were in a lay or in a heel about like, wow.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's cool because this is just day one.
Right,
so.
just day one. And like, yeah, really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see.
What you got?
Nothing. Don't got nothing. Right?
Let's see. So I'm gonna just ramble until Susan comes up with something or somebody comments something. So with Miss Ava, we talked about where we're at now, up until now, but plans for the future with her. Mm-hmm. Do you want to go on that since I came up with the idea? I feel like I've talked the whole time.
Sure. Oh, Jackie did just say, so proud. Kevin called most of his family and told them to like your page and check out your story. That's so sweet because I did notice I got a couple more likes and I was like, I don't know who these people are. But that's fantastic. So thank you. I really, really appreciate that. It means a lot.
Like, look at our babies doing so good.
Yeah.
Oh, love it.
So great.
Plans moving forward.
Plans for Miss Ava. So everything is on a verbal. All her 7 commands are on verbals.
What does that mean?
It means I can say the command and she will offer that behavior. So she's been on leash pressure. So let's say I tell her to sit and she does not, I would say no, and I can give her leash pressure up and she'll do it. So we can fall back on leash pressure, but she's on a verbal, so I can say the thing and she will do it. So we were transferring her over to the e-collar, which I did start right before this session in hopes that she would be tired. And it seems to be working, except for that one little tittle bit.
That's the thing about it.
But yeah, so we're working on moving all of her commands to CS. And then comes the rest of the e-collar stuff. Once she's on the e-collar for her commands, we will take her somewhere, whether it be off property or to her owner's house first. I'm not quite sure. I don't know which way I'll go. I'll either take her
We'll
off
work on some
property
planning stuff.
or I'll just take her to house. I don't know which one's going to be a bigger distraction. But yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say the reason why we would consider her house an off-property field trip for her. So like usually like with Chelsea and Tully, we took them to Hobby Lobby, and that was their off-property trip. With Ms. Ava here, she's got so many pictures of defending her house, and this is my territory and my people and blah blah blah. So not anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna set it up where we're just going into her house. So we're not gonna add her people in as a distraction. So we're gonna kick them out for a hot minute if we go this route. And we're going to go into her house, right? So now the picture is old, but the people in the training are, yes. So like, hey, you still have to do the things here. And depending on how that goes, will determine our lesson. So if we go into her house and she's like, oh, hey, I don't like you anymore. Well, we're going to address that right off the bat.
Because that would be interesting because honestly, from day one, when we saw her in the kennel, her behavior kind of baffled us, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because it looked like she wanted to attack us.
Oh, very much. And we even had, we had conversations about her body language in the kennel. And it's like, that's not a dog that's excited and wants to come over and greet you. Mm-hmm. That's a dog that wants to, and if given the chance, is going to do damage.
And then Dad came over to reassure her, and she flipped a switch. Like, I can't even.
This is Ava, ready? So, barking, freaking out, right? And then Dad comes over.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh, hey, Dad, happy. Oh, so nice. Barking, I'm going to kill you.
Oh, it's okay, honey.
Oh,
it's
hey,
okay.
Dad, I'm so happy. And we're like.
It was the weirdest thing to see.
Because usually, like, and that was what led me to believe that maybe it's just reactivity and insecurity and learned behavior. Because, like, a dog that's, like, not, that she's not aggressive. She will tear your hiney up if you let her, okay? Mm-hmm. But a dog that is, like, truly aggressive is not going to give a flying flip about her dad standing next to her. She's going to be trying to kill those people. Mm-hmm. But she was just like, hey, Dad, I'm going to kill you. Mm-hmm. And it was the weirdest thing.
The weirdest thing. So,
and then
it will be interesting to see if whoever has her leash at her house, if we do decide to go that route first, if she reverts back and tries to go after Rachel,
right?
Because she's the new person,
right?
So I'll be interested to see that.
It will be really interesting. Or like, oh, I know these people. Okay, then I'll leave and then knock on the door.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to freak out and be like, oh man, these people are here? And even if she does make great choices at her house, you might be like, well, it's just because it's y'all there. Don't care. It's still a picture. Mm-hmm. So I always tell my clients, I don't care if your dog only did this because they were tired or because of blah or because of blah. They did it, and that's a successful rep, and that's a memory in their memory bank for later. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
I'm excited. She's fun.
She is fun. Jackie, if you have any questions, if you're still on here, you can ask any questions you might have, even about Chelsea and Tully's lessons or whatever questions you had. I did add an extra link to Tully's collar. Just because it was a little snug. He's growing, so you'll need an extra one anyway. He's a growing lad. But yeah, it's been a really fun journey so far with her.
And it's day 4.
And it's day 4
of a 4-week board and train. And I'm only going to be here for the first half. You guys, I've not left Pennsylvania yet. And I'm already jealous that she's going to get to train Ava for another 2 weeks after I leave. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like we're having breakthrough every single day with her. I'm like, bro, what are we going to be doing by the time I leave? I'm jealous that I don't get to be a part of that. But I got to go back home to my new training facility.
She's got to go back home. She's got things to do.
I got things to do. But I expect daily updates. She's a good dog.
She's a good dog. And it's cool because she actually enjoys affection. So sometimes you don't know. If when you're petting a dog, are you enjoying that? Mm-hmm. Or are you just bearing it?
Right. And like that's why we hesitate to give pets as affection, because if you don't want me touching your arm right now, how is this going to make you want to do what I just asked you to do? Like, I don't like you touching your arm right now. Disgusting. No. But with her, it's like, oh my gosh, like you pet me, and now you pet me, and now you. Like today, I was sitting just over in the corner, out of the way, and you were working her. And then when you would say break, her reward for her break was she would run over to me and jump up on my lap and get pets. We were rubbing her freaking belly today. Like, and for people who don't know dog body language, that's like a dog that doesn't trust you unless you've like terrified them, made them train as we know. A dog who doesn't trust you is not going to just offer their belly for love. Because it's vulnerable.
Yeah, because that's different. There's two different kinds of like rolling. When a dog rolls on their back, so they can roll on their back because they want their belly rubbed, Chelsea, or they could roll on their back because they're nervous and submissive. So I did have a client that I trained over a year ago, I think, and he had consulted me because his dog would roll over to get his belly rubbed, and if someone would rub his belly, he would bite them. And so when I met this dog, he was a nervous mess. He was scared. So
he's like, I'm submitting, and you're still attacking me, and now I have to bite you.
Yeah. So what they thought was, hey, I want you to pet my belly, was, oh, please God, don't like leave me alone. And then when they would pet him, he would go to bite. So it's just had to pay attention to which one it is. Usually you can tell, but if your dog is nervousy, it could be not that they want their belly rubbed.
But Ava did, just to clear that. Ava did.
Yeah. Okay, good. So Jackie said collar fit great on Tully. Thank you. One question we had was how to handle walks during training, since we aren't using their commands yet, or the prong collars outdoors. Okay, so you have one of, well, there's probably more options, but the first two that I thought of, one, you can just ride it out the way it is. For the next 2 weeks, you can just do things the way they are. Oh, you got two?
No, you can I have two. You're saying one of them.
You could just do things the way they are, right? Because what's another 2 weeks? I know it's tempting to want to do something in the meantime, but just wait it out. You just wait it out because in 2 weeks' time, it's going to be so much better. You'll still have to do the techniques that we're going to show you. They're still going to try to pull sometimes, and then we'll show you how to counteract that. But you could ride it out. Second option is to do the pressure on, pressure off with the harnesses or the flat buckles, because you've probably tried that before. Like, you've probably had them on collars or harnesses before. I did show your husband that a little bit. Now with the harnesses, because harnesses were created to make it
more comfortable to pull.
Yeah, more comfortable to pull, so it displaces all the pressure on the whole body. So even though you're putting pressure, the dog's like, yeah, this is cool. It's like a big old bear hug. So, you could do it with a flat buckle, but foot choking, and it's all about pressure release. So you would put pressure on. Once the dog is not pulling on the leash, you would release that pressure. Now the dog's going to start pulling again, so you would put pressure on that collar. Once the dog submits to that pressure, then you can go again. If you do that, I think it's going to be way too exciting, and it's going to be a mess, and you're going to get frustrated because it's so exciting outdoors, especially for Chelsea. And if you walk them together, I think you'll get more frustrated. So I would just do things the way you're doing them, even though you're really excited to be able to walk them. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, so my first two thoughts were, my first one was walk them like you were before training. So assuming that you weren't using prong collar before training, hook their harnesses up, let it be a free thing. Because I feel that there are differences. Like, this is the free walk with mom and dad, and this is training time with mom and dad, and this is training time with Susan. My other thought, and this is going to sound crazy, don't walk them. Because, hear me out, I know, you're like, Rachel, we got to walk them. We got to walk them. But my thought is, Monday through Friday, I don't think they need a walk. They are exhausted here. And again, I'm not in your life, I don't know. But I think they're pretty tired after training. On the weekends and then in the evenings, if they really need something, use training. So mental exercise is going to wear them out 10 times more than physical exercise will. And while we know physical exercise is important for their health, I don't know if you have a backyard, if you know.
Yeah, fence and backyard.
Yeah, so maybe like play games with them outside, play fetch, do things like that outside to get their wiggles out, get that physical exercise in. But I honestly, personally, wouldn't worry about a walk. I would do training sessions with them when I would be walking them. So instead of going for a walk, I'm going to gear you up and practice what we went over during your midsection, because that's going to wear them out. Holly. Thinking about training wears them out.
Because you have to think too. Again, dogs think in pictures. Say it 20 million times, 5 times fast. But dogs think in pictures, so you're just keeping that picture of like, this is what happens when mom and dad walk you. Whereas you could just stop. I mean, like stop walking them, and then once you have your go home, it's like, hey, this is what the walk looks like with mom and dad now. So yesterday it wasn't a free for all, not that it is, but like yesterday you were allowed to pool. Today you're not. You could just
Haven't been on a walk in a while.
yeah. And now like, oh, these are how walks are with mom and dad now. Okay.
And then also by doing that, it's going to make, so right now, y'all are fun guys, free for all, not in a bad way, but there's not that much rules with y'all right now. Now that y'all are had the mid-session and are doing some work at home, you pause the walk, so that is putting a pause to free for all. I can do what I want.
Oh,
So-
and I'm sorry, I'm pausing her. They did start healing inside. She said they were practicing heal inside, so that'd be a
Yes.
great transition
Right.
because that's how we started, was
Yes.
healing inside.
I like that. So then we're going to put a pause to, this is what walk look like, but then this is what interactions with mom and dad look like. Now, throughout the day, they're getting more training, more structure. Mom and dad kind of mean business. Like, mom and dad are making us do the things. And then it's going to phase nicely into the walk.
Finally, you get a heal outside with
Right.
mom and dad. I like that. She did comment a couple times. She said, totally fine with waiting it out. We just didn't want to undo any of your hard work in doing so. Since Chelsea enjoys things like walks more than food, we still want to allow her to take them if we could. I actually think they're enjoying the training sessions we've done the past 2 days. They seem proud of themselves.
I love that.
So-
I love that.
And we did get to see them. So the Chelsea and Tully you guys see is going to be a little bit different than the Chelsea and Tully we see because we don't mean anything besides training and structure and a little bit of fun.
We're just like the teacher. Like, you
Yeah.
like your teacher when you're at school, but
But afterwards,
teacher,
like, I'd rather-
parent, nah, you mean nothing.
Where's it going at? Oh, at the progress session, they did the things for you, Excitedly. whereas us, they're like, all right. But you, they're like, look, mom,
Look what I know.
I can come over to you. So that's really awesome that you noticed that too, because it just makes you feel good about it. But yeah, I like that. I like that for them. Nothing else on here. Just saying. So Miss Ava, what are we
So we're
doing?
doing an hour special?
Oh, is it past time already?
It's 8:40.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's up to you.
Well, we can throw it out there. So if anybody has any other questions, so we normally only do half an hour. I kind of got carried away because
Because it's fun. It's a special.
Yeah. If you talk dog training to me, I will talk all day. If you don't talk it to me, I will just sleep. So if you're going to keep asking questions, we're going to stay on here.
I'm sorry.
But if nobody has any questions, we're going to hop off. So in the next, let's say 5 minutes, if nobody says anything, we'll go ahead and close the Q&A. But if you have questions, feel free to ask them because, like I said, I could talk it all day.
And she needs it. So while we wait to see if anyone thinks of anything, a couple nights ago, it was me and Susan and her husband. We were eating dinner and watching TV. Well, we paused the TV show to talk about dog training. Shocker.
Oh my gosh. And so Joe was like, do you guys talk anything but dog training? Like, oh,
So like we shifted, right? So he's like, "Oh, they're still talking about dogs or something." So we had like slightly shifted the conversation, still like around dogs, but shifted it a little bit. And he was like, "Still talking about dogs." So of course I was feeling like I could say whatever I wanted. So I was like, "You got any other topics that we could talk about? Throw it out there."
hey, you
But like
come up with
our default is dogs because like that's our life.
because we
What
like
else
it.
am I gonna talk about? And then his topic was bowling. So I'm like, I'm sorry, Joe. What do you want? Like,
Bowling's fun. Next.
right? And then I offered to watch the dogs so y'all go on a date, and I didn't.
Oh, that's true. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I
But
forgot about
he was
that.
like, "Well, she doesn't go bowling with me," and I was like, "Well, I'll watch the dogs and y'all
No,
can go."
you said, well, why don't you ask her to go bowling with you?
Yeah, I mean, when was the last time he asked you to go bowling?
A couple years. I'm not gonna offer it. I don't have to think about it. I think about dogs.
Right, like, so unless you say like, "Hey guys, I need you to talk about this," or "Let's talk about this,"
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about dogs like 24/7.
Brittany did say hey.
Hi,
So hey,
Brittany.
Brittany. Hope all's going well. I know you're remaining busy. because I watch your story.
Really funny because you probably didn't catch it in the beginning, but I wanted to share with Brittany how crazy life is.
Oh.
Versus I'm getting like time hop notifications about where we were a year ago now. And a year ago, we were planning our first Q&A and we were all at the same place. As I like to refer to it, hell, no, I'm just kidding. We were all like in the same place and now we're all badass dog training women doing our own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted that to be acknowledged.
It's crazy.
So hope you're doing well, Brittany.
Yeah.
But
she's got the right idea.
I know, she's past it. Yeah, you can see her in the camera. Yes, you can.
Oh, Brittany says, I wish I was there.
Oh, right.
If we could teleport you, we thought about it, Brittany. Okay, now that you're here.
Yes.
Now that you're here, we're like, maybe we can meet Brittany halfway,
Right.
because then we can see her. Like, one of us
Mhm.
doesn't have to travel the whole way. And I'm like, I don't know if she's gonna have time for that, because she does the every weekend. You said you go to Connecticut, I
Oh
think.
yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know if we can make that work. Plus,
Then
we got. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say we were talking about this on the phone, and I had our calendar app open. We have a shared app, I know, with our calendar, so we know what the others are doing. And I'm looking at our shared calendar app, and it's like, well, we can on this day, we can on this day. Oh, so I was just remembering.
It's crazy.
Life is busy.
Yeah.
But we did. So if not this trip, at some point, we got to figure out how to like meet in the middle somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want to take like a 9-hour drive down to Virginia and see my new facility, we can hang out
That's
there.
true.
It's only like a 9-hour drive. It only sucks a lot.
Oh, okay. She said, let's plan something. Call me after this. I have to tell you about a dream I had.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, wonder what it had to do with the dream you had.
What?
She had a dream too.
I did.
But yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah, I got, let's say we'll give you 3 more minutes because I'm being generous.
alrighty.
So at 8:45, we will close it down unless
Okay.
somebody asks us a dog training question. In the meantime, what the hell are you doing here, Rachel? Why are you here in the first place?
Oh gosh, that's a story to tell, Susan. So I'll keep it short and sweet. But basically, when I was here in May, I came up here for my birthday at the end of April, and we were training dogs there. I don't even really remember that trip a lot, but
I
we
don't
were.
remember who.
I think I was only here for like a couple of days.
You were
like
only
3
here for the
days
weekend
or something.
Yeah. Mhm.
But I came, yeah, because it was my birthday weekend, so I came up. Who did we have for training? You think about who we trained while
I think it was
here.
singles. It wasn't a board and train.
Oh yeah, because we went and met her. Anyways, no, that can't be right. Well, so we had to been planning this for longer because I went to her meet and greet thing, and that was when I was here in April. So when I was here before, or when you were in,
Okay. Anyway.
sorry, that I just had like an epiphany there. But at some point, Susan and I were talking. I was at your house, I know, and we were like, we need a vacation together. Let's go on vacation together. So
Like
we
margaritas, maybe the
on
beach.
the beach, maybe. We hadn't really decided, maybe mountains, maybe beach. So we marked it off the week in August, like the 20th to the week after. That's our vacation. We're not going to book any dogs there. We're booking it like 7 months out or something. It was
Mhm.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we believe in law of attraction and manifestation, meaning what we put out there, we're going to get. Silly us. Because we were talking about our vacation, and we're like, the song was going around, every day's a vacation when you love your occupation, or whatever the
Mhm.
song is called.
Mhm.
And we're like, you know what? We should just train together on vacation.
Like, wouldn't it be
So we-
funny if we just
yeah.
trained together?
Because knowing we never turn down things, like we're always booked. We never take time off. So it's like, we're just going to book over and then we'll just train together.
Mhm.
Well, then, oops. No, I'm just kidding. I was like, I think maybe I had someone contact me about a dog who had some aggression. I was like, I really need to get some more hands-on experience with that because I didn't get that at the internship where I went to get that from. So we were like, we need to train an aggressive dog together.
Here she is. So they contacted me about training, and I was like,
Oh my God, I remember, sorry.
oh, go ahead.
No, I remembered you called me. It was like 10 o'clock at night, I think. And you were like, you're not going to believe this. Somebody called me about training for an aggressive dog. And what do you say we booked them on our vacation?
So I'm like, I'm going to need some help. Yeah, so here we are. And then stupid Susan was like, well, if I'm going to have an extra pair of hands, I could take Chelsea and Tully.
And Winnie?
Yeah, well, I was going to add that later, but
Oh, sorry.
I could take
Okay.
Chelsea and Tully. They're just trained while you work, so that's no big deal. And then Winnie happened. Winnie was a little dachshund. And I was like, okay, if you guys can do a train while you work, because then I
What's
have
one more?
I have evenings and weekends off, except for Ava, right? And then I get Winnie, and she turned into a board and train. So I was like, what am I doing over here, Susan? Like, insane. So thank God for Rachel, because if I didn't have Rachel, I just wouldn't get any sleep, I guess.
And she wouldn't be picked on as much, but
Yeah, there's that.
So that is what I'm doing here. This is my vacation, and then I'm gonna go back to Virginia. Haven't decided the exact date. Maybe the 1st or the 2nd of September. Go crazy on my facility, get stuff done, and then my dogs start on like the 6th or the 7th.
Oh.
5 dogs, new facility. But I'm really excited.
Yeah, so if you haven't checked out her Instagram, Facebook, she does have a picture maybe a week
Like a week and a half
ago, and it does show like what the building looks like. It is beautiful, and she is really getting it done nicely on the inside. She'll do a reveal of what the inside looks like at some point when she's done. So Jackie did say, sorry about your vacation, but we're so grateful for this. You are welcome.
And don't be sorry, because like we're like living the dream though, because we do love our job.
We do.
Now when we get tired, we're like, you know what?
It's just juggling.
We do need a real vacation one day.
We do, because I haven't.
But
like from when I started. Oh my God.
Yeah.
From when I started, if you watch my story before, I had my 4 little dogs 4 little dogs, and then Winnie. So I won't get a day off until September 18th. So that was stupid. Don't do that.
But because burnout is real. Even though we love what we do, we gotta be better at taking time off. But this is like our first year full on in our businesses, right? Like, this is the first year that we're full time.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's coming up on that year mark for me, because I quit my job and moved to Rhode Island, and then got back from Rhode Island in September and went full time dog training. And I've not had a lot of days off, because on our off days we're doing office work. So I will be taking the last 2 weeks of the year off, and I will be doing work in my facility, but it will be fun.
But it's good.
It's worth it.
It's really just the scheduling, because with 4 dogs, it's like, okay, we're gonna work Ava here, and then Chelsea and Tully are here, and then we have a break. But then we have to take care of all our dogs, and it's time for Ava again. Then Chelsea and Tully are gonna go off property, and then we're gonna have an hour off.
But real talk, last night, after Chelsea and Tully's amazing lessons with Ava, our dogs are being like good like they're supposed to be. My dog wasn't being a weirdo like she is half the time. And we were sitting on the couch playing Skippo, which was the game we played the day we met, like that night. So we're sitting on the couch playing Skippo, and we just like kind of looked at each other and we're like, what an amazing freaking day this was. Like, how lucky are we to be doing what we love, running our own business, training dogs, and then just like playing a card game together.
It was great. It was a really great day.
While it wasn't the vacation while it wasn't the vacation we initially thought it was gonna be, even though I told you I knew it wasn't gonna. I told him when we booked it, I said we're not going on vacation. That was probably my bad in the beginning.
She did.
But I've been here 4 days, and it's been amazing. 5 days. So.
I thought she was messing with your muzzle. So her only rules are you can't attack us, you can't mess with your muzzle, and you can't be a dingus in the kennel. So I saw movement, and I was like, you going for your muzzle? But no. So yeah, it's actually 8:49 now, so we're gonna come to a close because we need to eat and relax. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you everybody for watching.
Yes, thanks for joining us. Special Q&A because we got Miss Ava. She's doing fantastic. And we will be doing another special Q&A 8 o'clock next Tuesday. I don't know what the hell we're gonna do, so join us for that one.
Yep. As always, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Pack Leader Dog and Rachel Kohler Dog Training. Again, if you're watching this replay, leave a comment. Thank you to Chelsea and Tully's mom and my sister, and I think somebody else maybe? No, those two. Thank you to y'all for commenting. Anyone watching the replay, give it a like, leave a comment. I've had a couple clients tell me they watch the replays, but they're like, I don't want to comment because you're not live anymore. We still get the notification, and then we'll just be happy again because somebody watched it. So thank you, and have an amazing night. And happy training, everyone.
Good night.
You're still live, though.
Break. Good girl. I'll give you a little break.